Okay, so today we're going to be talking about a whiskey I am familiar with. This is not a blind taste test. This is more of an appreciation and talking about how to taste a whiskey. And the reason why I'm showing this appreciation too is because the distillery actually just underwent a huge flooding that happened in Tennessee. Or Kentucky, not Tennessee. They're in Frankfurt, I think, for Buffalo Trace Distillery. So that's why I wanted to do this. I wanted to bring light to a distillery and a bourbon that everybody loves if you drink bourbon. If you don't, it's because you probably haven't had a good barrel. It's single barrel every time. We're talking about Blanton's. This has the wax top still on it, unopened bottle, the little plastic mesh around the outside of it holding it, and then on top, the letter is A, if you have to know. And if you don't know about the letters, each one is going to be a letter for the word Blanton or for the name Blanton. And the jockeys all have a different pose. You collect all of them. I think if you send it into Buffalo Trace Distillery, just look this up and verify it yourself because I have not done it. I'm still collecting them as we speak. As you can see a couple bottles there, but not quite enough. Um, to have them get you a stand that they'll send back with all of your letters. I'm also scared to send away my letters because I've worked so hard to get these. But with this one, this bottle is from barrel number 55 on Rick number 22 and or warehouse 16, Rick number 22. With this one has been filtered and bottled by hand at 93 proof, which is 46.5% alcohol. Now, one thing I want to mention with these, every time it'll taste different, every season is going to change, so not every Blanton's will be the same. It was by Elmer T. Lee. He championed it. He was the manager at Buffalo Trace. He championed it in 1984. I think he retired in 1985. My facts could be a little bit off skew or incorrect, but this is what I remember from the top of my head, so I hope that it is all accurate. Um, it was after his master distiller that he had named this bourbon, who was Albert B. Blanton. Um, and I mean, yeah, Frankfurt, Kentucky. Um, it's a really good quality whiskey. Um, Me personally, I do know a lot about the taste notes and profiles, and every time it'll taste different. Hopefully, this bottle is a good bottle. We're gonna go ahead and peel that top right now. Seal has been cracked. Let's take off that label too. Which let's see what like that fresh new bottle. It says the original single barrel bourbon whiskey, and the finest bourbon in the world comes from a single barrel, never blended with whiskeys to make it from any other barrel, because a lot of distilleries blend theirs together. If it's not single barrel, that means they blend more than one to create a consistent flavor profile and help mask certain characteristics you might not like or enhance ones you might. Um, Bourbon peak's maturity varies from barrel to barrel. Only a master distiller can determine the exact moment a whiskey has been aged to perfection and is deemed worthy of a Blanton's label, which means no barrel of Blanton's is ready until it's truly ready. Colonel Albert B. Blanton's time honored tradition lives on today. The handful of barrels from the center warehouse H are selected for a Blanton single barrel bourbon. This sour mash bourbon whiskey has body bouquet character and unequivalent to any other. This is the original single barrel bourbon whiskey. And then the center of warehouse H. I do not know exactly which floor that is on, and that can determine a lot of how certain whiskeys age and whether the alcohol proof goes up traditionally. And then they filter, which means they chill filter. And it's a sour mash. A sour mash means that they use the previous mash bill, and then that will create a more robust, sweeter, and more consistent flavor profile. It brings the pH level into a balance so that there's no bacteria that forms, or makes them like less likely that anything would happen. Because I mean, everything is. a grain that goes into this. And then, so I'm ready. I'm going to open this. And then this whiskey was dumped on 127.25. So it was just picked a little bit ago. We're going to, oh man, it just had a little hiss. That's my favorite part about when you get a fresh open bottle. That moment that the bottle takes its first breath. We have breathed life into this. We're going to let that sit for just a moment. Being fresh opened, you're going to have a lot of like strong punch right off the nose from that. You want to give your, because I'm drinking it out of a Glencairn glass, you want to give your Glencairn a moment to breathe and give off that first moment. I love the notes of Blanton's. Um, I feel like what I always get from this one is butterscotch. I get some vanilla bean ice cream, trace oak smoke from the time it sits in that barrel, some brown sugar that's been caramelized with an orange. So I think of a fucking butterscotch ice cream with the caramelized candy orange on there. And it's amazing. You get a little bit of that citrus, a little bit of the traditional characteristics from being a whiskey. Man, it's just really good on the nose. I'm glad this one is definitely a good barrel, but I mean, that's all subjective. And then also, there is a proper way to taste whiskey. So, with enjoying a fine spirit, anything above about 80 proof, I feel like your body needs natural dilution to enjoy and hit your stomach and your palate. So, what you should do is take that first sip, little small one, swish it around the palate, acclimate it. When you stop feeling that burn, take that, take a breath in, swallow, then breathe out. The next sip, a little bit more whiskey, let it swish around, and there's a moment that you pass this flavor wall when it opens up on your palate and your palate is acclimated where you taste more. So tasting a whiskey takes time, and not everyone tastes the same, not everyone enjoys the same. So I'm going to take a moment, dramatically take this out so that way I can get all those notes from there. Um I'm going to first palate myself with some water. That one's good. Sweet. I get that butterscotch, caramel, a little bit of like cinnamon, some baking spices in there, like allspice. It's got a nice little like oak taste to there where you get that dryness from there and the oak smoke. But it's a perfect proof. Um, I find that that's like enjoyable just to sip and let it just dance around on your palate. It doesn't take long to open up. When you get to something that's a little more high proof, like my Bondstone is at 61.8% alcohol. And then like I have a rare character up there that's 117. I have quite a few little bookers as well. And a Knob Creek that one's 100 proof. But it's like when you have something at a higher proof, you need to let it dilute longer. You need to enjoy it longer. It took more time in the barrel to age. It deserves more time on the palate to be enjoyed, to envelop all these flavors, to taste, and to be able to distinguish. what is a good quality whiskey and all the hidden undertones of it. You could use something like this is a Glencairn pipette. This is an actual like an official one, and it's meant for adding water. I feel like when something's chill filtered, it doesn't need it. When they chill filter it, they add water to bring the proof down. A Blanton's from the barrel is a higher proof. It's like 120 ish. So bringing that down to 93 involves a little bit of water. They also got Blanton's Gold too. There's a lot of different variations. Same mash bills, Emerty Lee and Rock Hill Farms. At this point, I feel like I'm starting to get a better understanding of whiskeys. This is where I'm finding my area of expertise, and I am studying for my certified bourbon professional at the moment, and I take my exam soon. So we'll see if I pass, which I think I will. I feel like a lot of the stuff I was already reading, I already knew, which was awesome. I've already interested myself enough to hopefully pass it without even really knowing too much beyond what I've already have, which is awesome. But I'm gonna take another sip, enjoy this for a moment, take my final notes on this, and then we're gonna hit it out. On that sip, I almost got like a creaminess to the whiskey. And I don't know if it's just because it's now palated, um, but I did get a little bit more of this like, and it's like a sweeter flavor. I think it's just also just having the flavor notes that it has in there. It's a very good quality whiskey. Blanton's, if you are unsure of something that you want to sip on that you consider more top shelf, Blanton's is always a wonderful option. This is one of those ones I would rate a Blanton's on a consistent level. Like if I'm talking one is shit and then 10 is like William LaRue Weller. Um, I'm gonna say I would rate a Blanton's a good solid 7, a solid 7. That's great. It's your good old reliable. It's a good sipping proof. I'm usually more on the higher proof side of things, but as a good easy drink, Blanton's is perfect. It's a great showcase of a single barrel bourbon. I might even put it up 1 point from there, but I feel like if you got William LaRue on the high end, or like a King of Kentucky, or like the rare allocated selection, like I have an Eagle 17 right here. This one is the one where I consider out of my entire collection, this one's probably a 9. And then I also have Little Book Chapter 1, which I would consider a 9 as well. I like the flavors of them. Um, but I just feel like there are always better ones out there. Sometimes certain years are going to change. So certain times your whiskey will also change. Um, Thank you for joining. I hope that you got something out of this. I hope that you took the time to really listen, and I hope I made concise sense with all of my words. Whenever I start talking about whiskey, I sometimes get on tangents. If you like this, please drop a follow, subscribe, whatever platform this is on, comment. I chat back. I enjoy chatting about whiskey. So I have any other fellow grainiacs out there who enjoy mash bills and oak, hit me up. Thanks for joining.